I'm here in this penthouse in a luxury condominium building right here in Miami Beach, and we're going to be meeting up with Derek and the Ross Brothers team, going over this incredible gut renovation luxury project, going over all the luxury finishes that they're putting into here. But before we start on that, check out this view because this is something that you cannot miss, and it's beyond impressive in every way. But I'm here with Derek, and we're going to be diving into this. Derek, great to see you. As always, we don't get to go into as many condos, but tell us about this view to start.
The view is beautiful. It's got an ocean view, which is gorgeous during the day. It's got the beach view. It's got the intercoastal to watch the boats go down at night. And then even more importantly, it's got that beautiful Miami skyline at night, which is absolutely incredible. It's a corner unit. It's a gem. It's a penthouse unit, and we're going to do some really special things here. It's going to be fantastic. Some things we've never done before in this unit. We're taking some chances with the finishes, and I'm excited to see how it's going to come out. And we think it's going to look beautiful.
All right, Derek, so walking into this condo, you cannot miss, obviously, the stack of debris. You guys have fully gutted this entire condo, but let's start. Starting from the top to the bottom, what did you tear out, and tell us the scale of this renovation.
This project is different than most, and the reason why we had to take everything out is because of the height of the ceilings here. A lot of condos will have ductwork and sprinklers that are coming into the unit, and so for that reason, when they build these things, they kind of guesstimate where things are, so they're not as tight as they possibly can be. There's some room in there. And so in this particular unit, the client wanted us to get the ceilings as high as we possibly can. When trying to gain 3 or 4 inches here, you've come across something where you now have to change ductwork, change your sprinkler heads, change your copper lines, and of course reframe, take it down, reframe, and sheetrock. So it's a pretty big project. But as you can see, we actually ripped out all the electrical.
Right.
Typically you wouldn't do that, you would reuse those lines, but everything in here from the plumbing to the electrical to the sheetrock to the framing to the mechanical is pretty much going to be a brand new apartment. So the place is 20 years old, but when we're done, it's going to be a 2022.
Brand new. All right, Derek, so we're here in the kitchen, and the view is spectacular, the foundation, we see a lot of studs here, but walk us through, what can we envision here?
This is going to be a beautiful kitchen. Right here, basically, where you see the thick part of the soffit, is going to be directly over the island, which is going to be really nice. Then over here is going to be some beautiful cabinetry. And then over here, we're going to design a custom marble seating area for 2 or 3 people to sit while they look at the water in the morning.
What people don't realize, and people that might have condos that are looking to remodel, a lot of times the soffits define spaces, and it gives you a lot of lighting solutions. And going into soffits, and what we're going to see throughout this entire condo is the knife edge that we briefly spoke about before. Tell us about what that is going to do for the home.
Well, in this area, the knife edge is not going to be used, but if we go over here to the dining room area, and you look at all this is about 7-inch down finished cove, and what basically what happened was we'll put a 5-inch knife edge that comes out and returns, and what it does is it takes the light, it amplifies it not only up, but also out, but it takes a lot of people who have, let's say, remodels, including myself, that did soffits, 5, 8, 7 years ago. Not a lot of people were doing cove lighting.
Right.
They were doing the square soffits and putting lights. And I was just thinking to myself, man, I'm gonna have to rip apart all my soffits and have to reframe them, but no, I don't. You just put the knife edge on the bottom, it gets plastered in, screws into the bottom of the frame. Well, it's a knife edge, it's made by the manufacturer. You couldn't have a better finish, and it's an incredible look. It's a very high-tech look.
Right, and that's the key to working with true professionals and people that are experienced, that have worked with all different types of applications and products and all the luxury finishes, and talking about lighting. You can't not have a control system for when it comes to lighting. So let's walk over here and dive into that more.
Sure. So for example, you were talking about the lighting.
Right.
So obviously you're gonna come in through the front door here, and immediately here you're going to be able to control your kitchen lights, your living room, dining, because they're essentially one room. I mean, they're different rooms, but they're essentially the lighting system you want to control.
Right.
So imagine you might have 10 different light switches here. It's going to look horrible.
Right.
When you're using Cassetta, which is a great Lutron product, it's good if you have 1, 2, 3, maybe a 4-gang switch, and maybe sometimes a 5-gang switch, and it gets crazy.
Right.
This is nice because we're using a Radio Raw product where everything will be wired back into this closet right here, and then basically remotely talk to a control panel. And each one of these panels has 6 buttons. So imagine you want to control 10 lights. Instead of having 10 switches, now you have 2 switches,
Right, exactly.
which is going to look a lot nicer. It's going to be a lot prettier, and it's a lot better system. you might have 10 light switches and then 3 blind controls. You know, you're talking about a lot of switches. So the fact that we'll be able to put it all into 2 or 3 switches makes it a lot better and makes it a lot nicer for the homeowner.
Without a doubt. No, that's impressive. And you know, going into here, I know there's what? This is 3 bedrooms?
Yes.
And 2 bathrooms?
3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms.
Yeah, so I want to go check out the master because I know that you guys completely gutted the entire master bath and you're doing some changes there, but let's go walk over.
Let's have a look.
All right, Derek, so we're here in the master bedroom and you know, obviously you have the soffits, you have things like that. I know that you guys are doing some luxury finishes here. Tell us about it.
I mean, basically we're doing soffits throughout. We're gonna do the knife edge. Everything's gonna have Lutron controls. Here we're doing a sunken TV so we can hide the TV inside the wall.
Right.
We're also insulating all the bedrooms so the sound coefficient is good between the 2 rooms, between this room and this room and this room and the living room, and also the other room.
And that's a great point because what a lot of people don't think about, and especially in condos where it's close quarters, you know, is the insulation and sound barrier and things like that.
So in between you and the neighbor, as you can see, it's all concrete. I'll show you when we go to the bathroom, it's concrete block. So that's pretty soundproof. You're not gonna hear the neighbor in any of these high quality buildings. But obviously between rooms within a condo, there is no concrete, and you can see there's very little insulation, if any insulation in any of these walls.
Right.
So most of the time when people are doing this type of work, they'll always ask us, hey, can you insulate the bedroom so we can have some privacy? Because you want to be able to watch TV and not hear the other TV.
Absolutely. So, and obviously, you know, automated shades, you know, everything's going to be
Everything
electric.
here. And this is a perfect example. They're going to have 9 light switches over here and 9 light switches over here, and it was going to look terrible.
Right.
Because they have a light for the TV, and they have a light for the cove, and they have the 2 lights over the TV, and the blinds, and 2 reading lights, and you know, there's like 9 different ways to light this room. So if you want to be able to do that, which is nice, because maybe you don't want your reading light on because your husband is sleeping.
Right.
Or maybe you just want the light on for the TV, or maybe you just want this cove light on. So the nice thing about these systems is it enables you to have a lot of choices, and that's what people like to do. So the Radio Raw system that we're putting in, we're actually using Radio Raw 3, which just came out. And it's a great system. It works phenomenally well, works with the blinds and everything else, but it does cut down on the amount of switches and the bulkiness of having 9, 10 switches in a row, and that's really the key to the whole thing.
No, that's a great point, and that's so important to the functionality, but really the aesthetic. I mean, like you said, you don't want to see light switch after light switch after light switch, and when you're doing these luxury finishes and all of the lighting applications and shades, you want that function.
Yeah, and plus all these lights in this house will also be set to modes.
Okay.
Where you can have party mode, and every light goes to a party mode in the house, or every light, you know, dinner with friends, and you push a button, or movie night. And every light in the house is pre-programmed. So what's nice about it too is the more light switches you have, the more control you have over your programming.
Right.
So basically all you do is you go one time, you go to a light switch, you set it, you go exactly what you want, Adam's favorite, you save Adam's favorite, and it saves all your settings. And then your wife can do the same thing, and your kids can do the same thing, but you can actually shut their TV off or put the lights onto their room. There's so many things you can do with these lighting systems. It's fantastic.
That's amazing. And talking about, you know, the master, you know, the homeowners, I'm sure they want that beautiful master suite. So it doesn't stop here. I know this master bath is going to be incredible.
Absolutely. We're doing a lot of changes in the master bath. Let's have a look.
Let's check it out. All right, Derek, so here in the master bath, I know that there's going to be huge transition. What was it, and what is this layout going to look like?
Before, there was a lot of walls, and like we do with most projects, the first thing we do is trying to open everything up.
Right.
Over here was an existing shower. Over here was a tub, obviously the vanity, the toilet, a lot of walls in between here. Just felt really closed in. Right. And so what the client wanted was an open concept. And so we're basically taking the shower and moving into where the tub was, and they're not gonna have any tub at all.
Right.
We're doing a beautiful double vanity here, toilet here, and then we're building a beautiful built-in in this wall right here with vases and lights and towels and a really nice storage unit here. But overall, we're opening up the ceiling. So on top of the fact that we're gonna open up the soffit, which was that small before, our new soffit is gonna be expanded. You can see it on the floor. This is our new soffit. This corner to that corner, that corner, that corner. So it's like, you know, 1.5 times the size and the height, and then even the height at which we're gonna be doing things is gonna be higher. So it'll make this bathroom feel a lot bigger.
Be a huge difference. So, you know, when it comes to size and the scalability and everything for this place, you know, I wanna go back out to that patio. So looking at this view, this is picture perfect. I know that you guys are gonna be finishing the balcony out. Because I know you guys, you work with a lot of clients that live out of state, that they have projects here, so.
I would say 60 or 70% of people that hire them are out of state. The fact that we're able to work remotely with our Matterport cameras and
Right.
give them updates and the technology that we have gives them a lot of sense of security because they know what's going on and they can come in. But they'll be here on Monday to approve all the framing that's being done.
Okay.
Once they approve that part, then it's finishing up all the plumbing, dropping in the electric and the sprinklers, and obviously closing it up and doing the finish work.
This is exciting because it's a different project than what we're used to going in on.
It's not a home project, it's a condo project. It's totally different. Everything is different because you're dealing with, concrete ceilings and concrete floors and, in a normal house, you can put lights wherever you want them.
Right.
This is a little bit more thought process and a little bit more, I would say the design process in this took us twice as long as a house. Because in a house, you have the opportunity to be able to sit in and make decisions on the fly. When you're dealing with concrete ceilings like we're dealing with here, you don't have that option. So there's a lot more
And you
thought
need
process.
approvals from the building.
Of course, and the city.
Yeah, in the city. Right. Derek, thank you so much for having us. This is exciting. I love the project, love being up here in the condo, love the view, but I can't wait until next time to see, the next steps, the finishes, closing the walls, and there's so much more to come. But for all of you, make sure you stay tuned for the next episode as we cannot wait to show you what's next.